Phoenix Audio presents Gallo Be Thy Name by Jerome Tuccille, read by Grainger, Hines. Prologue. Fresno, California was a small and dusty town in 1933, populated by down-at-the-hill farmers and idle men and women with too much time on their hands and not enough work to fill their days. It, like the rest of the country, was dry. But after 13 long, violent, and turbulent years, Prohibition would soon be coming to an end. It had been a puritanical and ignoble experiment in social engineering that was widely ignored and almost universally considered to be a failure. With the repeal of the 18th Amendment about to become a reality, the fortunes of the Gallo family supposedly took a turn for the worse. Having lived like royalty for a decade, Joseph and Susie Gallo seemingly found themselves deeply in debt, reduced to living in a modest house on a scrubby, dust-covered ranch in this agricultural working-class town in the Central Valley of California, midway between Sacramento and Bakersfield. The house they moved to had neither a telephone nor electricity. For those years, 1920 to 1933, Joseph Gallo and his brother Mike had prospered in the illegal California wine industry. Competition was sparse during Prohibition. Grape growers and winemakers with connections to the lucrative mob-controlled markets in Chicago and New York made a pretty good living, while those without ties fell by the wayside or ended up in jail. This morning of June 20th, 1933 broke hot and sunny. The heat could be brutal from late May through late September in this parched valley, and this particular day was no exception. According to Julio, the Gallo's second son, he and his wife, Eileen, had driven his truck to his parents' home to pick up the youngest brother, Joe Jr., and bring him back with them to Modesto. Julio first unloaded some irrigation equipment that his father had asked for. Then he strolled behind the house to the barn, where he found his father pacing back and forth, distraught, muttering to himself. "Where's Mother?" Julio asked. Joe pointed toward the field alongside the barn, where Julio saw his mother standing on top of a haystack, pitching hay into a truck. Julio cursed and ran over to her. "Here, Mother, I'll do that," he said, taking the pitchfork from her. "You and Eileen go make lunch and get Joe ready to leave." When he returned to the barn, Julio spoke harshly to his father, the Gallo patriarch, berating him for
Sample complete. Ready to continue?